love your shirt.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I love I love your shirt, your earrings, and the background you've got.
Yes.
How many people have told you that you guys for Where's the Buzz have to take 3-6 Mafia's track Where's the Bud?
I love it. I love it. No, I haven't heard that, but look.
Got this. Where is the bud? Yeah, but just take off the D, add a Z on it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you know what else I loved? I love the Super Bowl ad for Coming to America. Super loved it. It was so good.
That was the first for me. Jermaine Fowler and I were talking about that. We were like, we were kind of giddy that we'd never had anything on the Super Bowl like that.
It was so dope. Now, Craig, you previously worked with Eddie on Dolomite Is My Name, and you two reunited for this project, Coming to America, the sequel, the long-awaited sequel that everybody's just a buzz about and waiting for. How did you come on board to direct this project? Did Eddie ask you personally? Were there several conversations? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we, had a really good experience working on Dolomite Is My Name. And I think that, it was this one evening that we had a bunch of friends over to Netflix to have a screening of Dolomite in its early cuts. I remember John Singleton, rest his soul, was there, and a lot of the writers from Empire that I was working with at the time. But then Arsenio and Eddie showed up, and at the end of that screening, he was walking out to his car, and he just kind of stopped and turned around and said, "Hey, are you into doing Coming to America too?" And I was like, that's not something you can just drop on a man and not have him just be giddy, But yeah, I mean, it was something that I was both excited about, and I was a little daunted because it's something that I love, and I know a lot of people love. But I also know that they really wanted to make a sequel, and I felt like I was the guy that could probably protect some of the things that we loved in the original movie and maybe bring something new to it. But I was ecstatic to be asked by him.
And a beautiful job you guys did. In the age of reboots and relaunches, how will this version fare over with fans of the original?
Well, I hope what they do is realize that it's a celebration of the original. Mm-hmm. We're not here to replace Coming to America. Coming to America is a cultural touchstone for so many people, and that is not specific to race or age, because it was a global touchstone to a lot of people. The world fell in love with Coming to America, and really. Our job was to bring everybody back to like a family reunion. That was the benefit of having so much of the cast available from the first movie to be in it, was that we could bring them all back and have a good time with it. I think that we do live in a time where there's a lot of immediate opinions on things. Mm-hmm. My movie has been called trash so many times on Twitter, and they haven't even seen it. so I know that is part of it. And what I try to tell, new filmmakers is, hey, don't necessarily think of all that as bad. It's kind of like fan love is like wrestling, Sometimes you're shouting at the enemy. Sometimes you're rooting for the enemy. It's just part of the conversation that everybody's having about it. But I really don't think that anyone's going to have a bad time watching Coming to America.
I don't think so. I agree. I don't think they will have a good time. I think they will be into it as they were into it over 30 years ago.
That's what we want.
Yes. From Paramount to Amazon, Craig, do you think that the move to Amazon helped you guys in the way of not changing the tone of like the original and like some of the, risque scenes that we saw in its original movie? Do you think the move from Paramount to Amazon helped you guys at all to stay true to your tone?
Not really, because we really made the movie that we set out to make. Nothing changed from Paramount to Amazon. I know that a lot of people have seen the rating and they're worried about like, oh, well, wait a minute, the original movie was rated R.
Right.
But I would just argue, other than like, the bathers, the language, and then Akeem having kind of like some touching under the table. Coming to America is not really all that crude.
Right.
It's more, it's got a brighter spirit. It's more of a fairy tale with people that you really want to get behind. And so when we were testing the movie, we would have things go and push it. But we found that a lot of the audience was like, they weren't really that into those kinds of jokes. They were being perfectly entertained with the storyline and with the humor that we had. And so I don't think that we're necessarily doing anything that would be counter to the feeling of the original movie. It's just that we just don't have any nudity in it.
Right. The pandemic pushed the release back because everybody was gearing up last year, I believe last August, for its release. But the pandemic pushed it back. Do you feel now, though, is a better time than ever for this film to be released?
Yes. Look, I definitely wanted this to come out in a theater. I mean, especially after Dolomite Is My Name, like being in a theater with a bunch of people watching that movie, laughter is infectious. It's healing. I live here in Memphis, Tennessee, and we are not quiet in our audience. We respond. We shout back.
Right.
All of us do. And that's the way to see a movie like Coming to America. So when the pandemic started to remove any options of like people really going to a theater safely like that, it began to be really depressing. I began to be really sad, like, oh, well, when can we do it? When can we see this? And over the past couple of months, I found that a lot of households now are treating releases that come out on streaming services or through video on demand like it's a movie coming out, and the families are getting together and they're watching something new. Just last night I watched The Little Things with Denzel Washington. And had my in-laws over and my kids, we were all watching it. Yeah. So to now know that during these crazy times that the globe gets to enjoy Coming to America all at the same time, and they don't have to go anywhere and they can just enjoy it all together as a family. I feel like it's a great gift now. Whereas we would have just been another movie coming out in the theater like everybody else. I feel like now we can heal a little bit. We can laugh a little bit. And it's something that like your teenagers can watch, you can watch, have grandma come and watch it. You know what I mean? Like it's designed to be that kind of a movie.
Definitely. Craig, what is this movie's message, and why should people get out there or stay inside and watch this film? Why should people watch this film, and what is the message behind it?
I think that what was funny to your parents is still funny to the kids. I think that you look at Eddie and Arsenio's performance. It's good to see two sluggers like those two getting back at it again, and a whole new generation is going to be able to enjoy them. But I think that what we really wanted to do with the movie is not just entertain people and make people laugh, but we wanted something that also was a little emotional. That was about coming to terms with family and coming to terms with like a man like Akeem, who was very idealistic when he was younger. Now he's the king and he's got a lot of troubles, but he loves his children. And when do we start, maybe after we start holding on to traditions and customs, when do we start putting that away and start listening to our children and want to be a part of the world that they're going to be living in? And so I think that that's something that was important to us. And I hope that people feel a connection to that and with Coming to America.
You did an amazing job directing this film, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Greg.
It's great talking to you.
You too.